Hello, my fellow vidiots, and welcome back to our Hanging Out in Minecraft series, where we are just kind of gonna walk, talk, have a little bit of fun, do some stuff, and relax. So, Casalo, unfortunately, he can't be here tonight. He had some issues over the weekend, and he had to change modem and router settings and that kind of thing. Well, when he did that, it completely messed up all of his ports and everything. So he is currently in the process of getting that fixed at the moment. So we're not going to mess with this up here. This is his thing that he's kind of working and building on at the moment. So I told him I wouldn't bother with his stuff up here. I would let him do all of that, which he's planning on clearing pretty much this whole big block out, because apparently his little castle that he's building is going to go way back that way and over and around. So that's for him to do and enjoy. And what we are going to actually do today is we're just kind of going to mine, just kind of going to talk, play around a little bit. But eventually, right out here, you guys, we are going to, there's a village not too far from here, and I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to copy that entire village. And once this castle gets built, we're going to make a way coming down. We're actually going to put the village right down in here and have like an entire medieval kind of build going on. So tentatively anyway, that's the plan. But man, he did clear out a huge area over here for this. I have no idea what he's planning on doing with all of this, but I told him that he could do it, and that may have been a mistake, but live and learn. That's my thing. I need to make a new shovel. I have some cobble. I only need like 2 pieces of cobble. You can go back in there. Do I have any sticks in here? No, I do not. Okay. Put that in there. Let's pull up our table. And we'll make us another shovel. We'll keep this right here, just in case we should... Actually, what did I make? Oh, that's an iron shovel, that's a stone shovel. That's okay. Because I don't use the shovel unless it's actually dirt, something like that, that I need to dig through. Alright. Well, what we are going to do is we are going to try to clear out some of these ores and stuff that we have got sitting here. And, alright, fine, be that way. We're going to try to get some of this stuff kind of cleared out of this, little valley here, out of our ravine, because there's only so much by which I prefer to have kind of just lying around, where it can obviously be seen. Other than that silly monazite, I'm not gonna get that monazite stuff. Not that it doesn't have a purpose in this pack, it does, but we have had issues with trying to use that. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes if it's in a map that is used for like server play, it can corrupt and destroy the world, and other times it works perfectly fine. So, not sure what we're going to do on that yet. Alright, I know where that goes. I'm just not to that point yet. To go over there till I get all this stuff cleared out. Alright. And get that removed. Get up there. Alright. So I hope all of your guys' weekend and stuff went okay. Mine was not too incredibly bad. It's actually been fairly cold and fairly quiet right here where I live. So I ended up, I had a bunch of car trouble earlier this week. I ended up having to actually take my vehicle in to be serviced, and waiting to hear what's going on with it. It looks to be as if the motor on it is skipping really bad, and it's misfiring, and I'm not sure. It doesn't sound like the actual motor is blown or anything like that, but instead it sounds like it may need may end up needing like new spark plugs and everything. So until that time occurs, I ended up having to fork out a bit more money than what I had expected to have to do, and I ended up having to rent a vehicle from a local place for the remainder of the week. So it's not a bad little vehicle. We got a good rate on it. We got a good deal on it, and it'll get us through as far as to wherever it is that we need to go. Get out of here, skeleton. I don't need you trying to interfere with me. But it should get us to where at least we need to go for the next few days while my van is out. So I wasn't really too happy about the fact of having to do all of that, because you know how you kind of grow up, and as you're growing up, you kind of get a particular feel or a particular like towards certain vehicles, you know, and what you prefer to drive, and you know, what you've come to learn to find that you can drive really well. Well, at least some of my older viewers will know what I'm talking about here. But you know, you kind of get like a feeling for, you know, okay, if I do this, the car is gonna react like this, and you kind of develop a preference on it. Well, my very first car was a big '69 Buick Electra, and then my second car that I owned was I am not ready to go down there, was a big '76 Mercury Grand Marquis. And for some of you younger viewers, those are big cars, a lot of times thought of as being like land yachts, because they are really, really big cars. Well, that's what I grew up driving, and so I'm very familiar and with how, you know, you drive big cars, and I was kind of, you know, brought up with the fact that if you can learn to drive a really big car like that, and, you know, be able to drive it well and parallel park it and everything, you could kind of almost drive just about anything else. And I really prefer these nice big cars. And that's kind of what my van is like. Oh, I didn't need that. That's kind of like what my van is like. It's a nice big van, and you know, I got used to how it drives, and that's what I prefer to drive, are really bigger cars like that. And unfortunately, to get a good deal on the car that we rented, it's just a little bitty modern day hatchback, and I don't know. I'm not quite sold on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a nice little car, and it does have some power and some get up and go. Um, it's just, it's not my car. You know, it's not my car. I prefer one that's, you know, big, has plenty of room and maneuverability, and you know, you get into an accident with it, and a lot of times you can get out and walk away from the accident and be mad and cuss at the car and, or the situation and that kind of thing. And these little bitty cars are just, I don't know. I mean, they're nice because they're, for the most part, easy to drive. They're a little worrisome because, man, it's super easy to get into an accident with. So, but short of that, everything else has been good. I haven't had too much of an issues with anything. Computer seems to be holding up and running well. I did have to do some work on it, just some general maintenance and cleanup work. So, but I had to do a little bit. And ooh, you guys, I got my motion controller in for my whoa, I don't want to go down there. I got my motion controller in for my VR stuff. So I'm going to be, that's kind of my goal for this weekend, is I'm going to be setting up and playing a little bit more with, instead of just like desktop VR where you still control everything with mouse and keyboard. I've got my motion controller now, so I'm going to be able to get that set up and actually be able to play a little bit more immersively into VR. I don't know how many people have kind of gotten into that. I really like it. It's a lot of fun, and I've got a couple of different VR games that I'm playing. I do have the Minecraft VR plugins, so I could play like Minecraft in VR, and that really is a weird experience, you guys. I mean, as much fun as it is, as you're sitting here and like you're seeing right now, where we're walking around and we're doing this mining and stuff, when you're in VR mode, oh my gosh, you are, I mean, it puts you right there in you. Every little sound, every little action, all of that, it just, you are right there. And, you know, if you have like a creeper or a zombie sneak up on you and you weren't expecting it, you just turn around, all of a sudden, boom, there they are. Oh, it scares the bejesus out of you, I'm telling you. But it is so much fun at the same time. So, unfortunately, that's not something that I could film with my current system. I mean, I can play it, but I just can't film it. Otherwise, I would attempt to film it so that you guys could see what I'm talking about. And then that would be like a whole new style of play for Minecraft, I'll tell you. It's fun, it really is, but man, you can get so freaked out that way. Especially like if you've got like the enhanced sounds and stuff on, and you're inside a cave, and every little sound where it kind of echoes and you know, creates that really eerie ambiance, and you're way down deep digging in a cave, and you start hearing these sounds. Oh, it just gets so incredibly freaky. I mean, like uncomfortably so at times, and really puts you just like right there in it. It is so much fun. So, but that's kind of what I'm going to be working on this weekend. That, and I gotta fix. We had that big cold snap here where I live, and it did a number on my plumbing, and I've got to fix my plumbing too this weekend. So, and that's a complete royal pain to have to do. But no choice, it's got to be done. Got to be done so that I can get my water and stuff running the correct way again, and because I haven't had running water in like almost 2 weeks, you guys. I've had to buy water, and if you've never had to do that, that's a pain within itself to have to buy water. But yeah, I've had to buy water, and oh, I am kind of flooding out my area here. Let's get this taken care of. Put that up. Grab us some cobble. Let's get us a little area here set up. I don't want to completely close up this water, because if we ever need it again, we can pull it out and hold it. And I mean, I do like a little bit of water being able to run, so I'll do that right there, and that will allow me to free up this space down here. But yeah, so I haven't had running water in a while, and I had to buy water, and you guys, who would have thought, you know, I mean, a few years ago, if you'd said, you know, oh yeah, you know, the future is going to be people are going out and spending a ton of money by buying water, and, you know, I would have said, no, you're nuts. We have taps for that. That's why you pay for water. You know, there's no reason to spend a whole bunch of money on bottled water when you've got a tap. You can just you can literally just run your tap and get your water that way. Then lo and behold, looks like I was wrong. In fact, that is the case. People spend a bunch of money on water. A lot more than I ever thought they would, I'll tell you that. But otherwise, everything else is going good, you guys. Short of those couple of little things, which are minor, and yeah, I mean, you know, it's an annoyance because you have to do them and get everything done. Other than that, life is doing actually pretty decent right now. So, hope you guys are enjoying 2018 so far. It doesn't seem to be starting off too incredibly bad. A little frustrating and hairy at times, but not anything super, super bad. God, this is so relaxing. I love just, you know, there have been times, you guys, that I have gone into a mining world, or I'll, like, create a new world specifically for nothing but mining. Like, because you can make, you know, when you go to do your setup and stuff, you can make just, like, a flat world. And I'll make, like, a heightened flat world and just go in and do nothing but mine. That's it. And it's relaxing. I mean, let's see, I got into Minecraft when it was 1.4.2. Or actually, I got in when it was 1.4.6 and had started watching Minecraft videos and stuff when it was still 1.4.2. And that's what kind of got me into playing Minecraft. Was I had watched a couple of YouTubers play various versions of Minecraft, and then 1.4.2 came out, which had the mod packs and stuff. That wasn't a like a bucket type style mod pack. You know, it was easy to play and configure, and essentially like when the FTB packs came out. And at first, you know, I kind of saw the okay enjoyment in it as to why people would like it, but I was like, you know, why in the world would people sit here and get addicted to this and play this for hours upon hours upon hours? And then I ended up doing it. And once that was done, it was just like, okay, no, I get it. I see why people do it. I totally understand. And I've been stuck on it ever since. So, and don't get me wrong, just, I mean, anybody who's a big Minecraft player will tell you there are times by which you get burnt out on it. You really do. You end up getting burnt out, and you know, you have to. There are times, you know, like with anything, there are times in which you're gonna have to take a break, and but man, I have never once had any sort of regret or reason to doubt why it was that I started playing Minecraft. I so love doing it. And just to go down in mine, it's so relaxing, you know, and plus with the aspect of just being able to build. Oh, that was what I was going to do, is I was going to harvest all of that stuff for rubber. Do I have any more tree taps? I don't think I... Oh, I've got this one. This one's almost gone. We'll probably have to make another one. Let's see here. Grab some wood. Okay. But I did. Once I got into it, I was... Oh, it is so much fun. Completely see why people, you know, get addicted to games like... And not just like this game. But, I mean... You know, I grew up in the age of, you know, Ataris and the regular Nintendo and DOS-based PC gaming, and, you know, pretty much kind of the forerunners of what today's gaming is. And, you know, I was involved all in that when it was first, you know, having come out, and the excitement about it, and computer gaming where you'd have to spend, you know, 7 and 8 hours making a little bitty 30-second program that you'd then turn around and save onto cassette tape, because that was the recording medium back then, you know. I mean, that was what I grew up in. And just today's stuff, I mean, like I was saying, like with the VR, I mean, I'm playing like full VR gaming, especially now with my motion controller. I'm playing like full VR gaming, and I'm using my phone, and I'm using my phone and my computer together, and it's just, it amazes me how much we have come to the point by which we can do these kind of things, and, you know, have it so that we can take time for ourselves, and at the same time still be so productive. So it's amazing. I don't know how many of you people are big Nintendo fans. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but Nintendo just the other day released their video on the line of Labo, which is essentially, it's going to be for the Switch, and if you imagine the idea behind making the Google Cardboard so that you can, have like virtual reality with your phone, but not virtual reality, just the actual concept of the cardboard, where, you get a piece of cardboard, you lay this design, and then you can fold it in, and next thing you know, boom, you got a virtual reality kind of viewer. Well, Labo is like these cardboard printed sheets, along with software, depending on what cardboard sheet you make, that you can make, and it works with the Switch. It works like, with the IR camera reader off the Switch, but you can make things like pianos, fishing poles, just a whole bunch of different stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, that is so freaking cool. They have like robots and almost like RC controlling packs, and you do everything, and it's just with the Switch and this cardboard stuff. That is so cool. I had made a post on a video talking about it, and I was like, when growing up, when I was, a kid, we started off, and you had wooden blocks, and then we had Tinker Toys and Lincoln Logs, and then slowly you progressed into erector sets and Legos, and then, they came out with being able to do virtual Legos and Minecraft, and, where not only is it a game, but you can actually learn from it. You start learning building aspects, and you start learning design and architecture and mathematics, and you start learning these things. And these new modern day systems whereby, you got stuff like, for instance, computers for, say, level design. Now, you can go back and, gaming engines like Unreal, and, there's a bunch of Torque, and, just the different gaming engines. You could download a way of being able, or you could download and make a way of making your own levels, your custom levels, and that kind of stuff. So you had level design. And then it progressed to the point, for instance, like, say, Mario Maker, whereby you can not only design your level, but then play it and share it out immediately, and get other people's views and opinions and what you may need to tweak and stuff. So it's gotten to that point, and now we're like mixing this real-world construction idea and learning process of design and that kind of thing into a merger of both physical and digital, whereby we can build these things, you can build these things in real life, and then actually play with them on just a game console system. And the kids who are exposed to that in today's time, where, growing up, I'm one of the few people, I can tell you, I had, the first Atari system. When it first came out, I had the first Atari system. I was there. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm going to be right back here. Alright, guys, and I'm back. Sorry, that was work stuff. Anyways, I was exposed to gaming, when it first came out. I was around during the fall of, the home entertainment gaming, which essentially, you had games like, the Sears and Roebuck Pong machine came out, and you had Atari, and you had Intellivision, and ColecoVision, and you had all of these different things come out. And then, in which I was a contributor of, because I was one of the people that a lot of people think, and can trace back, part of the fall of home entertainment gaming was due to the Atari 2600 release of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Well, I actually own that game. I still have the original cartridge from that too for my Atari 2600. You know, I was one of those people, but I was there for it. And I was one of the people that when Nintendo released this new, interesting looking Nintendo Entertainment System, which came with a laser zapper, and, you know, we had one. And to this day, I mean, I have two Nintendo systems. I have, I had two regular NES systems. I have a Super. I have two 64s. I have two GameCubes. I have two Wiis. I have a Wii U. I have my Switch. I unfortunately don't have my original Game Boy anymore. But I have, you know, my SP, Advance, all versions of the DS so far. You know, I mean, as well as I have, you know, a PlayStation. I had an Xbox, you guys, but I just could not get into the Xbox craze because, I mean, at that point when Xbox really started to hit and everything, I was already a PC gamer, and anything that came out on Xbox, well, the Xbox is kind of a scaled down proprietary computer, and you know, you could play it if you had a good enough computer, which a lot of, you know, I mean, for like say the original Xbox, when the original Xbox came out, my computer that I had was already way above what its system specs were. So it took one simple little program and I could play Xbox games off my computer. And a lot of times, instead of doing that, if it came out on the Xbox, it also came out on a PC version, and the PC version you could do so much more with. You could mod, and there were graphic changes. You know, you could go into the configs and change things and stuff. So, never really got into Xbox. But, you know, I mean, I have a PlayStation, and I have all of the Nintendo systems, and I have my PC gaming, and really, I mean, I am a huge PC gamer. I'm a huge Nintendo gamer. There were a few select games that have been out on PlayStation systems throughout the years that I have bought, but not many. I'm not super huge into PlayStation because throughout the years their format and the way they game has changed, and I just it's not like they originally set out to be. So, but you know, I've been through all of that, and you know, technology is something by which I understand a lot more technology than what my parents understand. And it kind of goes just with reason because, you know, growing up, we grew up with that technology whereby for us, you know, we had to learn it because it kind of became, you know, secondhand nature for us, and they didn't. You know, they didn't grow up with that. So for them, you know, they've learned it. But the kids of today's time, with the technology and the advancements of learning and what's available and what's going to be continuing to be available and stuff out there, oh my gosh, you know, by the time my kids end up having kids and I become a grandfather and that kind of thing, my grandkids are going to have so many options and advancements, technological advancements and that kind of stuff that we only thought was, you know, futuristic, sci-fi possible, and they're going to be having that as their second-hand nature, and it's like, oh, the possibilities of what could be done. Oh, so, I mean, it looks awesome. So, for those of you who, I mean, you know, whether you're into those kind of things or not, you know, to look forward to the future. I mean, you know, going back on like say VR and stuff. I mean, you look at what's available nowadays and what they're doing, and soon it's going to be to the point whereby, you know, we're going to be living in like a virtual, a dynamic virtual world whereby, kind of like what you've seen in, like, say, um, you know, The Matrix or Sword Art Online. I mean, it's gonna be those kind of it's going to be those kind of worlds whereby we can design and build and um, live within a merger of both the physical and virtual worlds. I mean, you're talking, not quite apocalyptic or disastrous as, like, say, what's depicted in Ready Player One, even though I'm not discounting that as a possibility in today's society. But it's one of those kind of things, and it's just, everything is just, it's so growing and so amazing. It's going to be so cool as time goes on. So, but you guys, I think we did some mining, we did some food gathering, we collected a bunch of stuff. And I think we are going to end this right here. Thank you very much for watching and hanging out with me, you guys. What are your guys' thoughts on anything we've talked about today? Are you excited about VR? Are you excited about, the upcoming futuristic advancements with what can be done with systems kind of like what Labo is designing and stuff like that? Have you guys ran into car issues, and what are your guys' favorite preferences on cars? Big cars, little cars, compacts, hatchbacks, Let me know down in the comments below. Any helpful hints, tips, tricks, suggestions, leave down in the comments below. If you would, hit that like button for me. Helps me out, helps the channel out. And until next time, you guys, laters.